So by now we know this. We've heard it many times from multiple people. And if you don't, then you're hearing this today, that we cannot control how we feel. If we're in a down state, we can't force ourselves to be positive no matter how many things we do to try to make ourselves positive. We're still going to feel that emotion and we just have to ride the wave. And then the second thing is about having self-control when we do things. With substances, it's harder to have self-control because it's literally putting something that alters your state of mind, like putting it into your mind and body, and it's already making you impulsive. It's already making you in this dream-like state, and it's already altering who you are, basically, or bringing out all these things that of who you would like to be, right? And being really reactive. Alcohol and marijuana use, it makes you very reactive. Like alcohol and smoking makes you make decisions that you wouldn't have normally made if you thought it through and led with your intuition, but you're just leading with impulse. So with those two things, it's hard to have self-control over it. Some people do, kudos to them, but it's really hard to have it when you've been so used to overusing it. So it's better to just cut those things out of your life because they make you in a reactive state. Like another thing that people have a problem struggling with is delicious food that is not healthy for you, right? So they'll, first of all, eat the fried food, eat all the stuff that is not good for your body and that alters your state of mind in the sense of giving you anxiety, depression, all these things, because you're not putting healthy food into your body that actually nourishes your mind, body, and soul. And the thing is, what they'll do is they'll overeat those foods as well because it's so delicious. So I think that there's a lot of people just struggle with self-control. Self-control to not eat the foods that are going to damage your mind, body, and soul, that are going to eat the foods instead that are going to nourish you and uplift you, even if they don't taste as delicious as the foods that are junk. And the thing is exercise. We don't get enough exercise, and then that makes us in an anxious state. Our sunlight, we don't sit in the sun and get the vitamin D that our body needs. It's like we think life will be enjoyable if we just engage in our pleasures nonstop. And I think when, for example, Bashar says act on our highest excitement, that confuses people with acting on all the things that are pleasurable to us. But we have to know which things that are pleasurable, that are good for us, and that might not be pleasurable in the moment, but end up being pleasure in the long run. Like, for example, when you eat food that is greasy and not good for you, you feel it tastes so delicious in the moment. What a good pleasure, satisfying your taste buds. But then after, you have a stomach ache, you have a headache, it affects your mood, you feel lazy. Like, all these repercussions happen as a result of it. So that one pleasure of, oh my God, how delicious it tasted, which lasts 2 seconds, is not supposed to override the feelings that you get after it. Or when you don't exercise, then you wonder why you have racing thoughts or don't feel good, again, affecting your mood, all these things, because you haven't gotten the energy that exists in all of us out of your body. And then you end up feeling more lazy, sitting on the couch, you can't move when you need to move because you haven't worked up the endurance for your body to do these trips, or going on a walk. Going on a walk feels like too much because you haven't built up the endurance to do it. But yet, eating that healthy salad, getting the vitamins in your body that you're lacking, getting the sunlight for as long as you can, slowly it starts to build you up. Then slowly but surely you start to feel better on the long term. You start to feel lighter, your thoughts start to feel clearer, your body starts to feel better, all of these things, and then you feel better about yourself in turn. You gain self-confidence, you gain self-worth, all because you had self-control, that you chose to make better decisions for yourself. Not easy at all, because there's constantly our thoughts, our programming that tells us to go back to the things that are pleasurable but damaging to us. It's like people engaging in one-night stands or hooking up with someone that doesn't align with their values, and all of these things, whether it's friends with benefits, whatever it is. When we engage in intimacy, when it's not aligning with our values and what we want and what we're looking for, then again, that makes us, our self-worth feel diminished, our anxiety, our everything, like just things that, our insecurities, all of that. So yeah, you may get pleasure for that 2 minutes to half hour, But what does it come with? What repercussions does it come with? You feel guilty after, you feel shame, you feel like you're not getting exactly what you want out of the situation, all because you engaged in that pleasure. You went for that pleasure instead of thinking and holding yourself back until you do meet someone that you align with, until you build yourself to that person that you want to be, so that you align with the right people who want the same things as you. So yes, act on your highest enjoyment, but it's not pleasures that are going to damage you. It's going to be pleasures that are going to build you up. And avoid the pleasures that make you feel less than you are. It's always about building our mind, body, and soul. That's our whole purpose, is that we're perfecting our soul. And how do we perfect our soul? By building our mind, body, and soul, so that we feel one with creation, our thoughts are clear, we know what we're saying, we feel clear in our thoughts, we feel confident in our choices, we feel gratitude for just existing and looking for the simple things to enjoy. We start building our vision, we start working on our passion. There's so many things we can do that are healthy, that align and that raise our frequency and that align us with our creator. And once we do those things, you'll watch and see as your life starts to change. You just have to have patience.